Then to beat the king, you gotta learn the game, yo. You gotta learn the game. 148 getting down.
You mean that's what he did? He went up to 150 because you're 148?
Yeah, you know how to play the game. The 127 wasn't beating 148, so you had to go to 150. Being plastic. I think they're made out of steel. And yesterday, you've been working on those.
This is the Radio Shack Realistic Navaho TRC-457 CB base station. It's from the Navajo series. This is one of my all-time favorites, and I'll show you later why that is the case when we have a look at the inside. The radio works really fantastic. This is one of the nicest base stations I've ever seen. It is a sidebender. As you can see, amplitude modulation, upper sideband and lower sideband. Right now we have it in the amplitude modulation setting. Radio has a built-in clock. The clock can do both 24-hour time, military time, as well as the AM/PM concept. I'll show you quickly. We have it now in the Zulu time, military time. There is a switch on the back where we can change that. As you can see, 12:53 p.m. The little bar on that side means PM. If I go fast, we are now at PM. If I go all the way around, we should go to AM without the little bar there. So the clock works fine. I've seen a lot of these base stations where the clock is out, not in this one. Clock works fine, can do both AM and PM, as well as the European or military time concept. CB band is really open today. There is stations coming in from everywhere. Very strong stations. Radio has volume control, squelch. It's one of those squelches that have a nice transition. They do not pop. This one doesn't pop, so that's kind of nice. Clarifier, of course, which you would use mostly in single sideband. A PACB, noise blanker on-off, ANL on-off. This is to calibrate the built-in SWR meter. I'll show you that later. This is how you calibrate the SWR setting. RF gain, of course. And the mode switch. Mode switch has LEDs that show you which mode you have selected. For the clock we can do a slow advance, we can do fast advance, and we can do hold to start the clock when you want it. Like I said, it's a 40 channel base station, PLL controlled. This one has the 858 the P858 chip, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you that later. Tell you a little bit more about that. It's just unbelievable how many stations we have today.
Man, I tell you,
Single sideband obviously always is the nicest sounding,
that's for sure.
especially when you have multiple stations using the same channel.
All the time, man. I've been
Sounds
riding
just
since I
better.
was a kid. And shoot, man, I think I've been in the saddle for
As you
over
can see,
40
works very
years.
nice. This particular unit is almost like mint condition.
I love to ride.
It is an unmodified original condition.
I put on
We have not messed with it. I don't like to mess with my radios. I want them to be factory original. That's when they sound the best and perform the best.
out there in Cali, Arizona, Nevada. And anyhow, man, it's a passion I just love. So 4 or 5
We'll show you the
I had to put
transmitter
it in the garage. So,
and the frequency accuracy.
Copy, the RC8, copy.
For the transmitter test, we'll switch it to my dummy load. We're now at the dummy load. I have a Bird 43 watt meter. I have a ham radio which I have set at 27.385 megahertz lower sideband that we use as the monitor transceiver. And we are at channel 38, which is 27.385 megahertz, as you might know. We're at lower sideband. I'll give a shout on the microphone here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, it's dead on frequency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're putting out 12 watts PEP. Exactly the amount the FCC allows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the clarifier is exactly the 12 o'clock position when you're on frequency. I will demonstrate that by transmitting with the ham radio. 1, 2, that's a little bit loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right on frequency, as you can see. Exactly the 12 o'clock position. We'll go to upper sideband and test that as well. And we go to upper sideband here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dead on frequency. And exactly 12 watts. PEP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, clarifier is here. Exactly in the right position. You see this radio is dead on frequency. Modulation is excellent. We can test amplitude modulation quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amplitude modulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works as well. 4 watt carrier, as the FCC requires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It all works perfect. I'll show you the amplitude modulation on the scope later. This radio has textbook AM. It is just perfect. One of the best ones I've ever seen, even compared to ham radios. But like I said, I'll show you that later. Alright, let's show you the inside. I took out the screws. Had to go get my glasses for this one. This chassis is a Uniden chassis. As you can see, crystal filter and the chip. The PLL chip is the UPD 858. That is a very well-known chip that accepts BCD coding and can be modified if you wanted to do other things. This chassis is the same chassis that was used in the in radios like the early models of the President Grant. It was used in the Palomar SSB 500 and also in the Cobra 138 XLR uses the same chassis. There are some changes to this chassis, additions it looks like, compared to that radio. For instance, there is a board here that seems to tie into the RF stage of the receiver. First I thought it was the noise blanker, but it's not. The noise blanker is this chain here. This is the RF chain. So I don't know what that is, but it was added. Another thing that that was added to this radio is obviously the fact that it has to be controlled by means of a base station. The channel switches here through this flex cable, but for the rest it's the same chassis as the XLR, which is actually my favorite Uniden chassis. And I tell you why. We'll start here. The radio has a dual gate MOSFET in the receiver front end. It also uses a relay. That is kind of nice because the transmit receive RF path is switched by a relay, which gives the radio much better robustness against strong signals, large signal handling, because the later model radios have diodes to handle that. They tie the RF output directly into the receiver and then use diodes not blow up the receiver front end during transmit phase. But like I said, this uses a relay and that works much better. The other nice thing about this chassis is it uses independent crystals for upper sideband, lower sideband and AM. This is the lower sideband crystal. This is the upper sideband crystal, and this is the AM crystal, which is used for the mixing in the PLL. And here you see the two sideband crystals. It has also independent crystal for upper sideband, lower sideband for the BFO, for the balanced modulator. And that means that each crystal is aligned on its own frequency and will never deviate from that. In modern radios they use one crystals, which they then switch around by using variable capacitances that are being switched in and out. They do that for both the synthesizer mixer as well as the sideband oscillator. And that is the reason why those modern radios often suffer a lot of instability. Because when you have to shift the crystal around, you need to lower the Q factor of the oscillator, and that results in more drift when the radio warms up. This radio doesn't have that. It doesn't have that problem. Obviously 3 crystals, or 5 I should say, cost more than 2, and that's the reason why for later radios they abandoned this concept. It's purely a cost reduction for later radios. This radio does not have that cost reduction. The radio also uses a dual gate MOSFET here in the transmitter mixer and in the synthesizer mixer. Uses a high-end 8-pole crystal filter. Modern radios have those wimpy crystal filters. Another thing that this radio has that actually the Cobra XLR 138 XLR does not have is an additional filter, a monolithic crystal filter for the receiver. I don't know if you can see that there. That is it's not a crystal, it's a monolithic crystal filter that is used in the AM mode. So that is an additional filter that is switched in. That's another addition to this chassis that makes this one a notch above the regular Cobra 138 XLR chassis, which is For the rest, as I said, identical. Now it's the base station, so obviously we have a power supply. This is the transformer. It runs off 115 volts AC. The series regulator. This is the regulator board. I did change this capacitor out. The original capacitor was weak. I put a brand new one in there that's also a little bit higher. It's 4700 microfarad. The other one was 33, the old one. So this is the regulator board. Here you obviously see the transmitter power amplifier. 2SC1306 as the driver. 2SC1307 from NEC as the power amplifier. As you can see, I have never messed around with the tuning. This is still factory original. This is I'm not sure what that is. This is a DC regulator, I think. This is the modulation transformer. This radio still uses a transformer for the AM modulator. In newer radios they use a series transistor there, which is also a cost reduction. Transformer works much better. Behind here you see the audio amplifier and AM modulator IC. This here is actually the audio amplifier and AM modulator. These are two regulators, not sure what they serve. This is the balance modulator for the single sideband mode. This is the MC, I'm not sure, 1486 I think it is. This is the modulator filter. There is a good audio filter in the modulator. This here is the microphone amplifier. Like I said, here you have the sideband oscillator. Here you have the synthesizer. These are the synthesizer mixer crystals. PLL chip. This is the reference oscillator crystal. 10.240 megahertz. Crystal filter we discussed. This, like I said, is the noise blanker for the receiver. This is the receiver RF stages. Here are the receiver IF stages with the monolithic crystal filter. This is the single sideband demodulator. Here we have the transmitter IF stages, and here we have the transmitter RF stages. A very nice chassis. Like I said, this particular one is completely original. I did change some capacitors here and there that were weak. That's always a good thing to do, but like I said, there have been no modifications done. This radio is entirely factory original and looks perfect both from the outside as well as the inside. I promised you I was going to show you the amplitude modulation. For that I basically have hooked up this oscilloscope through my attenuator. So we get the 30 dB attenuated output from the transmitter straight into this 50 ohm terminator, which is then sampled by the oscilloscope. We have the radio in amplitude modulation right now, and I'll show you the performance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, this is textbook amplitude modulation. Overmodulation is compensated, is limited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. As you can see, the modulation is very good controlled by the automatic gain limiter. And the only moments where you see a slight dipping is when you start to talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where the AGC kicks in and prevents the signal from overmodulating. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love this. I love this radio. It's one of the best AM modulations I've ever seen on a CB radio, and even on a ham radio for that effect. We'll switch it to sideband. Not much to see there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see there's a good power distribution in the signal. It's a good, strong modulation, good talk power as they call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the single sideband mode. And like I said, this is really a nice single sideband radio with clock, excellent receiver, excellent transmitter, and like I said, it is one of my favorite Uniden chassis, where independent crystals are used for upper sideband and lower sideband throughout the exciter and the sideband modulator, sideband oscillator. That is something you do not see in today's CB radios anymore because of cost reduction reasons. So it is literally true what they say, they just don't make them like that anymore, and that definitely applies to this radio. One of my all-time favorites. Good job from Radio Shack and Uniden. Thank you for watching this video.
You copy number 2, they got you. Give me Roger. I'll turn your house your way. It's incredible. It is incredible. I don't know why I do all like the picture of it. It's incredible. The clarity. I would. It's AM and sideband. You know, it's a 3-position switch. That's the one. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's the, I think that's the trucker unit, the trucker mobile unit. Yeah, they got a couple of different ones. They got the 450, they got the 900, they got a 1200.
Everything is okay on the, I hope everything is alright over there, Tony, Roger.
The fucking coffee is over me in right now. You're out there. Give me where and make that sharp left turn.
Well, if you get it around the door, what you're doing there?
I was going to show you the meter function, the SWR meter. But this is Cal. This is how you would set the forward mode. See, I'm calibrated now. Then when you switch that out, this is basically the VSWR. You see, I almost got nothing coming back, which is also what my bird says. This is forward, and this is reverse. As you can see, I got nothing coming back. I got a good antenna system here, and the meter is telling the truth. Reflected and forward. Very nice to have that built in.
Connecticut Mobile, just want to tell you that. I just wanted to see if I could talk to you. Yeah, that's stock mic. I mean, I wouldn't have known it was a stock mic. I mean, it's much louder than that.
Excellent radio.
I got the gain on the radio pretty much all the way out, so, you know, but in my modulates. It's not like, you know, some of them other stock mics.
One of the best base stations, sidebander base stations ever made.
So, yeah, check it out. They're on eBay.
Thank you for watching.
The seller was South Carolina.